Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to TCFL Central. Tonight we'll be bringing you episode 5 of the TCFL 2025 PC Conference regular season week 6. Here you can see the standings as of week 5. The Dreadnoughts are on top in the East is 3-1, and we have a tie in the Central with the Slashers and the Dogs both 3-1. And off to the right here, you'll see all of the league leaders after week 5. Quick look, you can see Herbert Auburndale and leading in passing, Jacobs of Cleveland is leading in rushing and our receiving yards and so forth. Down here with the power ratings, we have Detroit best offense, Cleveland best defense, Auburndale best power. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get this week 6 started. And just looking through the games here, we're going to use the Woodland at Auburndale as our game of the week, mainly because both teams are 3-1. And that's probably the best matchup. So let's go ahead and play the first game. It's Hazzard County at Cleveland, both teams 2-2. And I'll make sure, for some reason, as I mentioned before, this pops up when you play on the instant games for the first game. Then after that, it doesn't do it anymore. So anyway, we have Hazzard County at Cleveland, both teams 2-2. Hazzard is favored by 1. And there you have it. Cleveland knocks off Hazzard County 27-17. So let's go ahead and take a look at the box score. And just to make it a little quicker for me, I'm going to save it. Week 6. So we have Hazzard County at Cleveland. Okay, take a look here at the scoring drives. See Cleveland gets off to a 14-7 lead after 1. Halftime, it was Cleveland 20, Hazzard County 17. And third quarter, no score. And then the fourth quarter, Cleveland did get a touchdown pass to Burrows to make the final 27-17. There's your drives. Go ahead and take a look at the team offense and defense. You see, it looks like it was a pretty close game, although Cleveland did manage over 400 yards to Hazzard County's 370. They both passed for about the same. There were a few sacks by Cleveland. Hazzard County didn't have any. And rushing-wise, Cleveland broke 100. You see a few injuries. And here's our player stat. Burrow passed for 4 touchdowns, 122 rating. May had 1 touchdown, but he threw 2 interceptions too. Jacobs led the game in rushing for Cleveland with 70, Barkley 47. see, touchdown-wise, receiving Lazard caught 2 of Burrow's 4 touchdown passes. There were no fumbles in the game, which is kind of unusual. And there you have the player stats. There's the play-by-play. And the other lineups for the game. Okay, let's go back. Yeah. As you see, Cleveland now 3-2. Hazzard County drops 2-3. We're going to skip to Woodland, Auburndale. That'll be our game of the week. And now we have Detroit, another 3-1 team, playing against Transylvania, who is still looking for their first win. Detroit's favored by 7, but I'll play that. And Transylvania finally comes alive and knocks off Detroit 45-10. Oh, upset special there. Okay, let's see. Transylvania scored at all 4 quarters. Detroit had a huge problem trying to stop them. Transylvania was up 17-10 at halftime. And then Transylvania scored 28 unanswered points in the second half. Okay, there's your scoring drives, drive summaries. Look at that, Transylvania double Detroit first downs. 500 yards passing. Yikes. Well, that's very interesting there. Detroit Murray had a terrible game. 1 interception, no touchdown, 41 rating. Look at Cousins threw for 540-some yards, 4 touchdowns, 116 rating. They will let Young play later in the game. Neither team had huge rusher. Abdullah had 59 for Transylvania. Murray led Detroit rushing. Receiving wise, we had a 2-touchdown receiver in McLaurin out of the 4 touchdowns that Cousins threw. Another game with no fumbles. Well, you kind of look through here and see why Detroit kind of stumbled in the second half. Let's see. But it looks like they were 4 and out. 4 and out. Looks like Detroit was 4 and out on nearly every single drive in the second half. Oh, there's one there where it looks like they had 2 drives where they had more than 4 plays. Oh well. Okay, so that's it from Transylvania. We have Transylvania getting their first win of the season, 45-10 over Detroit. Okay, third game we have Greene of Putnam County. Greene is 1-3. Putnam County 2-2. Putnam County is favored by 6. I'll play this one. And we have Putnam County knocking off Greene 27-16. Take a look at the box scores. And let's see here. At the corner was 10-7 Putnam County. At halftime, Putnam County had a 20-13 lead, and there very little scoring in the second half. Greene with a field goal to get it to 20-16, and then Putnam County in the fourth picked up a touchdown to ice it 27-16. Both teams were pretty even. 100 plus yards rushing for both teams, 200 plus yards passing. Both teams net offense 354 to 361. 2 sacks by Greene. Look at Putnam County. They ended up with 9 penalties and still won the game. Okay, passing wise, Mahomes had an interception and touchdown, 84 rating. Donald, no interception, 2 touchdowns, 117. Any rushing, best was Pollard for Greene, rushed for 48. Receiving wise, we had a 100-yard receiver in Allen, Putnam County. Okay, that's the player stats. There's the play-by-play. And the lineups. Okay, that's it from Putnam County. It was Putnam County 27, Greene 16. Okay, that leads us to the game of the week. Auburndale's favored by 6. It's Woodland and Auburndale, both 3-1. Both teams are in first place now since Detroit lost this week to Transylvania. So interesting. Here we have a matchup of both first place teams. Let's go ahead and head over to Auburndale and get this game set up and run. Ooh. Auburndale favored by 6. We don't compute it both, but we are playing regular. See, it is a little rainy out today at Bright House Stadium. So I think we're all set. Let's head over to the stadium. Okay, here's the standings. It's the starting lineups. We're at White House Stadium, 87 degrees, rainy, hardly any wind, 0-5. Line Auburndale by 6. Quarterbacking for Woodland and Jordan Love. Quarterbacking for Auburndale and Justin Herbert. So let's go ahead and get this game started. Here's the killing clocks. And the kickoff.
Welcome to Bright House Stadium. Woodland against Auburndale. Here's the kick from Ryland.
And there's the opening kickoff to Auburndale. And man,
the kick from Ryland is returned 10 yards by Raymond. Queen with the tackle.
So let's go ahead and give it to our play-by-play announcer. We'll sit back and watch the game. And we'll be back at the end of the game to go over the stats. Enjoy the game.
Herbert to Jennings, incomplete. McCollum on the coverage. Herbert from the shotgun. Herbert throws incomplete to Williams, Queen on the coverage. 3rd and 10 from the 10. Herbert passes to Mooney, incomplete. Fox back in punt formation. Standing in the end zone. "53-yard punt by Fox, return of 9 by Downs. 1st and 10. Love at the line. Love throws incomplete to Ford, Vaughn on the coverage. Woodland breaks the huddle. Shotgun. Love to Neighbors, incomplete, Stevens on the coverage.
Offense. Number 71, 10-yard penalty.
2nd and 20. Love completes the pass to Nakua, gain of 8, Murphy with the tackle. 3rd and 12. Love calling an audible. Love to Ertz, gain of 25, Smith on the tackle, 1st down. Woodland breaks the huddle. Ford on the carry, gain of 6, Robinson on the tackle. 2nd and 4 from the 25. Ford the ball carrier, loss of 1, Smith on the tackle. 3rd and 5 from the 26. Love to Downs, gain of 9, Stevens with the tackle, 1st down. Love at the line. Love to Ford, incomplete, Vaughn with the coverage. 2nd and 10. Six-yard run by Ford, Smith with the tackle. 3rd and 4 from the 11. Love with the pass to Ertz, incomplete, Bynum on the coverage, 29-yard attempt for Ryland. This will give them the lead. Good snap from center. Wattenberg with the snap. Ryland is good from 29, Woodland 3, Auburndale 0. Here's the kick from Ryland. The kick from Ryland is returned 13 yards by Herbert, Queen on the tackle. Herbert completes the pass to Shakir, gain of 8, Jackson on the stop. 2nd and 2. Etienne on the pitch, gain of 2, Jenkins on the tackle. 3rd and inches. One-yard gain by Williams, Hamilton with the tackle, 1st down. 1st and 10. Herbert calls the signals. Williams on the carry, 11-yard gain, Blackman on the tackle, 1st down. 1st and 10 from the 34. I formation. Herbert at the line. Williams the ball carrier, gain of 11, Juden with the tackle, 1st down. Williams with a gain of 3 on the play, Blackman on the tackle. Auburndale down by 3. Herbert from the shotgun. Herbert completes the pass to Williams, 26-yard gain, Greene on the tackle, first down. Akers on the pitch, no gain, Greene on the tackle. Williams with a 6-yard run, Blackman on the tackle. 3rd and 4 from the 20. Herbert passes to Herbert, 2-yard gain, Greene on the tackle. 36-yard try for Sanders. Good snap. The snap from Jurgens. Sanders connects from 36 yards, Auburndale 3. The kick from Sanders. The kick from Sanders is returned 30 yards by Ford. Vaughn on the tackle.
10-yard penalty.
First and 10. Love to Ertz, incomplete, Bynum on the coverage. Love in the shotgun. Love to Downs, incomplete.
Holding. Offense. Number 60.
2nd and 16 at the 6. Love changing the play. Love to Nakua, gain of 75, Bynum on the tackle, first down. Love throws incomplete to Ford, Vaughn on the coverage. Nakua lost 7 on the play, Vaughn on the tackle. 3rd and 17. Love to Downs, touchdown Woodland. Ryland makes the extra point, Woodland 10, Auburndale 3. The kick from Ryland is downed by Herbert. Shotgun formation. Herbert to Otten, gain of 14, Key on the tackle, first down. Herbert throws incomplete to Jennings, McCollum on the coverage. Herbert barks out the signals. Herbert throws incomplete to Otten, McKinney on the coverage. 3rd and 10. Herbert completes the pass to Otten, gain of 4, McKinney on the tackle. End of the first quarter, Woodland 10, Auburndale 3, Fox back in punt formation. "52-yard punt by Fox, return of 8 by Downs. Woodland leads by 7. I formation. Love completes the pass to Nakua, 18-yard gain, Murphy on the tackle, first down, I formation. Nakua is doubled at the line. Dobbins on the carry, touchdown Woodland. Ryland makes the extra point, Woodland 17, Auburndale 3, Ryland with the kick. First and 10 from the 25. Williams on the carry, gain of 2, Key on the tackle. Timeout, Auburndale. 2nd and 8. Herbert in the shotgun. Herbert calling an audible. Herbert throws incomplete to Jennings, McCollum on the coverage. 3rd and 8 from the 27. Herbert calls the signals. Herbert to Williams, incomplete, Queen on the coverage. Fox from punt formation. "51-yard punt by Fox, fair catch by Downs. Love passes to Ertz, incomplete, Bynum on the coverage. Love in the shotgun. Love calls the signals. Love to Neighbors, gain of 17, Murphy with the tackle, first down. Love at the line. Love to Nakua, incomplete, Murphy on the coverage. 2nd and 10 at the 39. Love at the line. Love is intercepted by Murphy, return of 0. Herbert on the carry, gain of 19, Blackman on the tackle, first down. Herbert calling the signals. Akers on the sweep, gain of 6, Blackman with the tackle. 2nd and 4. Herbert the ball carrier, 2-yard gain, Blackman on the tackle. Auburndale down by 14. 3rd and 2 at the 20. 9:37 left in the second. Shotgun formation. Herbert on the pitch, gain of 9, Hamilton on the tackle, first down. Herbert to Shakir, incomplete. Herbert with a gain of 5 on the play, Blackman on the tackle.
Holding. Offense. Number 15. 10-yard penalty.
Herbert in the slot. Herbert to Otten, gain of 14, McKinney on the tackle. 3rd and 6 from the 7. Mooney is doubled at the line. Herbert on the carry, touchdown Auburndale. Sanders makes the extra point, Woodland 17, Auburndale. Sanders to kick off. The kick from Sanders is returned 26 yards by Ford, Murphy on the tackle. Love from the shotgun. Love barks out the signals. Love throws incomplete to Ford, Vaughn on the coverage. 2nd and 10. Dobbins the ball carrier, touchdown Woodland. Ryland makes the extra point. Woodland 24, Auburndale. Here's the kick from Ryland. The kick from Ryland is returned 15 yards by Herbert. McKinney on the tackle. Herbert passes to Akers, gain of 2, Juden with the tackle. Herbert from the shotgun. Akers on the carry, gain of 5, Gary on the tackle. 3rd and 3 from the 21. Herbert to Herbert, gain of 1, Queen with the tackle. Fox back in punt formation. "53-yard punt by Fox, fair catch by Downs. Love with the pass to Ford, incomplete. Vaughn on the coverage.
Offsides. Defense. Number 97. 5-yard penalty.
Woodland leads by 14. 1st and 5. Love to Downs, gain of 14, Stevens on the tackle, 1st down. I formation. Dobbins on the pitch, loss of 5, Saunders on the tackle. 2nd and 15. Love from the shotgun. Love at the line. Dobbins on the carry, gain of 2, Tabe on the tackle. 3rd and 13 at the 41. Auburndale in a prevent. Love passes to Downs, incomplete. Gillen back in punt formation. A 48-yard punt by Gillen, returned for a touchdown by Raymond. The kick by Sanders is no good. Woodland 24. Here's the kick from Sanders. The kick from Sanders is returned 12 yards by Ford. Tabe with the tackle. Love in the shotgun. Love with the pass to Nakua, incomplete. 2nd and 10. Love calling signals. Love completes the pass to Nakua, gain of 33, Smith on the tackle, 1st down. Dobbins on the carry, 4-yard gain, Hicks on the tackle. 2nd and 6 from the 48. Love to Johnson, gain of 29, Stevens on the tackle, 1st down. 2-minute warning. Love throws incomplete to Dobbins, overshown on the coverage. Love is sacked by Jared, loss of 5. 3rd and 15 from the 28. Love throws incomplete to Johnson. 46-yard try for Ryland. Wattenberg with the snap. Ryland missed the 46-yard attempt. Herbert with a hard count. I formation. Slick track out there. Herbert passes to Mooney, gain of 8, McKinney on the tackle. Auburndale trailing by 8. 2nd and 2 at the 44. 1:17 to go in the second. Herbert from the shotgun. Blackman in run support. Herbert calling an audible. Herbert is sacked by Queen, loss of 9. 3rd and 11 from the 35. Herbert with a hard count. Herbert to Shakir, incomplete, Jackson on the coverage. Fox from punt formation. "51-yard punt by Fox, fair catch by Downs. Love brings them to the line. Shotgun formation. Dobbins with the carry, 1-yard gain, Tabe on the tackle. 2nd and 9. Love completes the pass to Nakua, gain of 14, Murphy on the tackle, 1st down, Woodland by 8. Love barks out the signals. Love on the carry, loss of 4, Tabe on the tackle. End of the first half, Woodland 24, Auburndale 16. The kick from Sanders is downed by Ford. Love completes the pass to Ertz, gain of 11, Bynum on the tackle, 1st down, Love at the line. Ford with a 5-yard run, Oliver on the tackle. Love throws incomplete to Downs, Stevens on the coverage. Woodland by 8. 3rd and 5 from the 41. Shotgun formation. Ford with the carry, gain of 2, Bynum on the tackle. Gillen from punt formation. "46-yard punt by Gillen, fair catch by Raymond. 1st and 10 from the 11. Jennings is doubled at the line. Herbert at the line. Akers with the carry, no gain, Queen with the tackle.
Holding. Offense. Number 77.
First and 16 from the 5. Shotgun. Herbert on the draw, no gain, Blackman on the tackle. 2nd and 16 from the 5. Herbert throws incomplete to Williams. 3rd and 16 from the 5. Herbert calls out the signals. Herbert to Jennings, gain of 13, McCollum on the tackle. Fox to punt. "51-yard punt by Fox, fair catch by Downs. Woodland up 8. 1st and 10 from the 31. Love at the line. Dobbins with a gain of 5 on the play, Bynum on the tackle. 2nd and 5 from the 36. I formation. Ford on the pitch, gain of 3, Robinson with the tackle. 3rd and 2 from the 39. Shotgun formation. Love calls the signals. Love to Downs, gain of 10, Stevens on the tackle, 1st down.
False start. Offense. Number 50. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
Love changing the play. Love to Downs, gain of 10, Stevens with the tackle. Nakua is doubled at the line. "7-yard gain by Ford, Hicks with the tackle, 1st down. Love with the pass to Nakua, 25-yard gain, Murphy on the tackle, 1st down, Woodland ahead by 8. Nakua is doubled at the line. Ford on the carry, no gain, overshown on the tackle. 2nd and 10 from the 14. Love with the pass to Nakua, touchdown Woodland. Ryland converts the extra point, Woodland 31, Auburndale 16. The kick from Ryland is downed by Herbert. Herbert with the hard count. "16-yard run by Herbert, McKinney on the tackle, 1st down. Auburndale trailing by 15. Herbert using a hard count. Akers on the sweep, gain of 5, Gary on the tackle. Hard count from Herbert. Four-yard gain by Williams, McCollum on the tackle. Auburndale down 15. 3rd and 1 at the 50. 3:57 in the 3rd. Herbert with a hard count. Herbert calls out the signals. Herbert is sacked by Wilson, loss of 4.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Fox deep in punt formation. "54-yard punt by Fox, 12-yard return by Downs. Love at the line. Dobbins on the carry, gain of 1, overshone on the stop. Seven-yard run by Dobbins, Robinson on the tackle. 3rd and 2 from the 25. Love calling signals. Love to downs, incomplete. Gillen back in punt formation. "48-yard punt by Gillen, return of 11 by Raymond. 1st and 10 at the 38. 1:58 in the 3rd. Herbert with the hard count. Herbert throws incomplete to Jennings, McCollum on the coverage. Dreadnoughts down 15. Shotgun. Herbert at the line. Herbert completes the pass to Akers, gain of 5, Douglas on the tackle. 3rd and 5. Herbert with a hard count. Herbert throws incomplete to Shakir, Jackson on the coverage. Fox deep in punt formation. "51-yard punt by Fox, no return.
Roughing the kicker. Defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Herbert using a hard count. Williams with the carry, loss of 1, Queen on the tackle. Dreadnoughts trailing by 15. Herbert with a hard count. Herbert changing the play. Herbert completes the pass to Williams, gain of 4, Queen with the tackle, end of the 3rd quarter, 3rd and 7. Herbert to Shakir, incomplete. 4th and 7 at the 39. Herbert completes the pass to Williams, gain of 12, McKinney with the tackle, first down. Herbert barks out the signals. Herbert throws incomplete to Olave, McKinney on the coverage. Herbert completes the pass to Williams, gain of 6, Key on the tackle. Auburndale down 15. 3rd and 4 at the 21. Herbert the ball carrier, loss of 5, fumble recovered by Herbert, 44-yard attempt for Sanders. Juergens with the snap. Sanders connects from 44 yards, Woodland 31. Here's the kick from Sanders. The kick from Sanders is returned 33 yards by Ford, Murphy with the tackle. From the eye. Nakua is doubled at the line. The field is getting slick. Love throws incomplete to Downs, Stevens with the coverage. 2nd and 10. Dobbins with a gain of 1 on the play, Oliver on the tackle. 3rd and 9 from the 33. Shotgun. Love at the line. Love to Johnson, incomplete.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 21. Automatic. First down.
Woodland leads by 12. Love throws incomplete to Ertz, Bynum with the coverage. Woodland leads by 12. Dobbins on the carry, no gain, Murphy on the tackle. 3rd and 10 from the 45. Love barks out the signals. Love to Ertz, gain of 14, Bynum on the tackle, first down. Ford on the carry, gain of 1, Tave on the stop. Slowly coming to the line. Dobbins on the carry, gain of 35, Smith on the tackle, first down. 1st and goal from the 5. Woodland taking their time. Ford with a gain of 4 on the play, Jarrett with the tackle. Love working very slowly. Stacked line. Ford the ball carrier, no gain, Jarrett on the tackle. 3rd and goal from the 1. Woodland taking their time. Stacked line. 10 play 67-yard drive. 5:34 off the clock. Ford the ball carrier, loss of 4, Tave with the tackle. 23-yard attempt for Ryland. Good snap from center. The snap from Wattenberg. Ryland is good from 23, Woodland 34, Auburndale 19. The kick from Ryland is downed by Herbert. Auburndale trailing by 15. 1st and 10 at the 25. Herbert in the shotgun. Herbert on the carry, loss of 4, fumble recovered by Jackson, Woodland ball. Love to Nakua, touchdown Woodland. The kick by Ryland is good, Woodland 41, Auburndale 19. The kick from Ryland is downed by Herbert. Herbert in the shotgun. Herbert calls out the signals. Herbert throws incomplete to Mooney, Jackson on the coverage. 2nd and 10 at the 25. Herbert calling an audible. Herbert to Jennings, gain of 54, McKinney on the tackle, first down. Herbert is intercepted by Jenkins, return of 3. Ford on the carry, gain of 1, Smith on the tackle. Woodland by 22. 2nd and 9 at the 25. 3:50 left in the game. Woodland working slowly. Dobbins on the carry, no gain, Smith on the tackle. Woodland by 22. 3rd and 9 from the 25. 3:04 in the 4th. Slow down offense. Love at the line. Dobbins with a 2-yard run, Vaughn on the tackle. Gillen from punt formation. "45-yard punt by Gillen, return of 12 by Raymond. Herbert from the shotgun. Herbert to Williams, gain of 40, Key on the tackle, first down. 2-minute warning. Herbert throws incomplete to Mooney. Herbert completes the pass to Mooney, touchdown Auburndale. Sanders converts the extra point, Woodland 41, they're looking for an onside kick. Here's the kick from Sanders. Onside kick recovered by Woodland. The field is getting slippery. One-yard run by Dobbins, Oliver on the tackle. I formation. Dobbins on the carry, no gain, Smith on the tackle. 3rd and 9 at the 44. Dobbins the ball carrier, no gain, Tabe with the tackle. Gillen back in punt formation. Raymond waiting inside his own 10. "36-yard punt by Gillen, out of bounds. Dreadnoughts trailing by 15. Shotgun formation. Herbert passes to Mooney, incomplete, Jackson on the coverage. Auburndale down by 15. 2nd and 10 at the 8. Herbert to Williams, 9-yard gain, Key on the tackle.
Tripping. Defense. Number 31. 10-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Prevent defense. Herbert to Jennings, incomplete. 2nd and 10. Herbert throws incomplete to Mooney, Jackson with the coverage. Auburndale down 15. 3rd and 10 from the 27. 0:48 in the 4th. Herbert passes to Mooney, incomplete, Jackson with the coverage. 4th and 10 from the 27. Herbert throws incomplete to Olave. Woodland 41, Auburndale 26.
Okay, looks like that's it from Auburndale. The Woodland Dogs knocked off the Dreadnoughts 41-26, and what we'll probably see is a slugfest looking at the statistics. Okay, let's take a look at the stats. And looks like nearly every team scored in every quarter except Auburndale in the 3rd. Woodland up 10-3 after 1, after 22. It was Woodland 24, Auburndale 16. Then Woodland scored another touchdown. Auburndale could only answer with a field goal early in the fourth. And then, as you can see, Woodland picked up 10 more points before Auburndale finally scored a touchdown with a minute and a half left. Final, Woodland 41, Auburndale 26. Let's take a look at the stats. Woodland threw for over 300 yards and rushed for over 200. As Auburndale could not stop either the run or the pass. Woodland getting 579 yards. Auburndale with an average 328. Although passing, they did go over 200, but missed 100 yards and rushing by 1. Okay. Take a look at the passing. Love went 18 of 35 for 369, 1 interception, 3 touchdowns, rating of 105. Herbert did not do quite as well, 18 out of 40, 242 yards, 1 interception, 1 touchdown for a rating of just 62. Look at Dobbs, 197 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Wow, he was a force to be reckoned with. 2 touchdowns receiving with Nakula. He had 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Going over to the Auburndale side, leading rusher Williams is only 37. That's the demise of Auburndale. They usually have a pretty good running game. And then pass receiving wise, not much there. Williams nearly had 100 yards, but not quite. Looks like Auburndale had 2 fumbles, but Herbert recovered 1 of his own. Oh, here Raymond returned a punt for a touchdown for Auburndale. 89 yards. Okay, I guess that's to wrap it up here. We'll scroll through the play-by-play real quick. Again, as you all know, that just pausing the video will allow you to look at anything that was been displayed. Okay, well, that's going to be it from Auburndale, from our game of the week. Woodland 41, Auburndale 26. Guess I probably should print this. Okay, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the standing. Dragonauts and also a 3-way tie in the East now with that loss by the Dragonauts. All teams are 3-2. The Dogs are now in first place. In the Central, with that win, they're 4-1. With the Slashers loss, they go to 3-2. Cougars 2-3. Giants 1-4. So all teams in the league have won at least one and lost at least one. Okay, week 7 games. We have Detroit at Cleveland, Greene at Auburndale, Hazzard County at Transylvania, Woodland at Putnam County. My guess is we're going to broadcast the Detroit-Cleveland game. Now, in case you have forgotten, the first 3 weeks of the schedule are played within the division, and then the off week, and then the next 4 weeks are played against teams in the other division. So let's take a look here. We have a Putnam County win, Transylvania win, Putnam County to the east, they won one against in the east. 2 wins, Auburndale lost. So they're 2-1. Cleveland with the win. 2-2. Detroit with the win. 2-3. Woodland 2-4. 3-4. 3-5. So East are 3-5, while Central is 5-3. Take a look at the passing, rushing, and receiving yardage, which you probably all have already done while I was messing around with the schedule. Hermit still leads the league in passing, even though he had a terrible game against the against Woodland Dogs. And look at that, Woodland with his fantastic running game with Dobbs 200 and now moves ahead of Jacobs of Cleveland. Woodland Kuka has 33 receptions, and you can see all the rest down. Look at Auburndale Murphy, 6 interceptions in 5 games. Whoa. Sacks, nobody's really taken the lead in sacks. All of those have 2. I'm sure there's others with 2. Offense, Woodland now moves into first with 38. Cleveland hangs on in second with 20. And Woodland has moved ahead of Auburndale at the power rating of 62 to move first place in the power. Okay, so I think that's going to be it here from TCFL Central. This was week 6 of the TCFL Action PT Conference schedule. This is Gary signing off. Hope you have all a lovely evening.